make some calls. There were a lot of calls made for a lot of songs in this movie. Honestly, like, this movie, I think that, like, when you see it, it feels like a big, beautiful summer movie, but, like, we didn't have any budget. So there were a lot of favors and a lot of begging, and ladies for Taylor. I mean, honestly, she was with me on this experience the whole time with me. Yeah, she was. You know, she's a person who shows up for you. So grateful to have that love and that support. But yeah, there were other people too that I had to call and beg. People that said no. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that is Blake Lively fulfilling her contractual agreements, doing the publicity trail and interviews that are required of her. In promotion of the film, It Ends With Us. A lot of people have not seen that clip, and that is bombshell because she specifically asked about Taylor Swift, and she goes on to talk about how there was no budget. Could that be because she spent over $600,000 on her own wardrobe for the film, going $160,000 over budget for herself, pulling from the other allotment for wardrobe for other cast members? Maybe. I don't even know what to say. But maybe that's why Atlas's character is in just jeans and a flannel and a white shirt the entire time, because they couldn't afford anything nice for his character because Blake Lively took it all. That is so obnoxious too, because she goes on to talk about how she brought her own jeans, her own jacket, Gigi Hadid's sweater, her husband's t-shirt and socks, and she also brought her own $5,000 red bottom shoes for the dancing sequence in the movie It Ends With Us. So how did you still spend over $600,000 on clothes to look that bad in the movie? I mean, the wig alone she's wearing looks like a $20 wig from some crazy dollar store somewhere. But of course, Taylor Swift has spent her entire career since 2005 very carefully working with an entire team of people to very, very, very strategically and cautiously curate her reputation, especially when it comes to the media. And Taylor Swift is now saying, nope, you're not invited anymore. Nope. Not to their box, and certainly not to the Super Bowl. TMZ even ran an entire thing about how Taylor now is claiming that Blake manipulated her. If this comes down to Taylor Swift or Blake Lively's reputation, I'm telling you, Taylor Swift is going to drop her like a hot potato. And friendship means nothing. Being the godmother to her 3 daughters means nothing. Showing up for your friends means nothing. Being so appreciative for that love and support means nothing. Although I'm really curious to know what really goes on behind the scenes, and I would love to see the discovery. I mean, the messages, the text, the call logs, all of that between Blake Lively and Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds, because that would be bombshell. You know, all the things that they try to scrub from their devices, but they end up having subpoenaed the cell phone provider, the internet carrier, or the social media website themselves to get those DMs. Because they're always going to be there, even if you try to permanently delete the account. Because now we're seeing articles like this that are absolutely, I knew it, I called it. This is said to be by Sarah Jones. Now, this is what's so funny in this entire lawsuit is that Melissa Nathan was brought on by Justin Baldoni to be a crisis PR for himself. And she has a sister named Sarah Nathan who actually writes with Page Six and the Daily Mail and other publications. So it's really funny that that says Sarah Jones up there. I don't know who Sarah Jones is, but she's the one who did this article. It's saying Taylor Swift feels used by Blake Lively, wishes actress didn't drag her into the Justin Baldoni lawsuit. But that's the entirety of the thing. Taylor Swift really did have a part to play in all of this. I know Swifties don't want to hear that because you want to believe that somebody's PR image and who you think they are is in fact who they really are behind the scenes, but it never works that way with mega celebrities. It never works that way with B-rate celebrities. at all. The only people that can get away with that are the smaller celebrities that are C and D rate because they're not being followed or they're not playing this publicity game where they have a whole entire PR team that does nothing but keep their name in the media to keep them relevant, to keep their merchandise, their ticket sales, their album sales, all of that relevant. It is a dirty game. And all of these celebrities are just cogs in this giant dirty machine willingly because the trade-off is they get to be rich. They get to have the luxury of a private jet, not just one, but two of them. They get to fly every day, dumping hundreds of thousands of tons of CO2 into the atmosphere because they just feel like taking a jet from Nashville, Tennessee to see their boyfriend. You know, they're so absolutely tone deaf, and people that come from privilege already have an entitlement and an expectation to maintain that privilege. Kanye West was just talking about all this woke ASSSHIT. I'm beautiful. I'm 5'10". I'm a white girl. I have blonde hair naturally and blue eyes. I dye my hair. Do you see me being privileged over here? The fuck no. Why? Because I'm not a sellout. And I don't sit here and play this dirty game with mainstream media and social media and pretend to be someone I'm not. So I can benefit from ticket sales of the young generation. Because we got to remember, Taylor Swift, Blake Lively are both almost 40 years old. Less than 27% of the population lives to see their 70th birthday. And back before Western and modern medicine 80 years ago, it was only 3 to 5% of all humans on planet Earth lived to see their 70th birthday. So if you were to cut 70 in half, 35 and 35 is 70. 35 is middle-aged. Yes, because most people don't live to see 70. It's just the reality of the world. When you think of old, you think of, I'm going to be 90, I'm going to be 100. That's great. No. The reality is 73 out of every 100 people are going to be gone before they see 70. So yes, put this in terms. Taylor Swift and Blake Lively are over middle-aged Caucasian women. Of course, they're friends. They're both privileged. They're both in Hollywood. They're both a part of this dirty PR machine. And they play these games for a reason because the trade-off is they get checks. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. They get brand deals, they get campaigns, they get sponsorships, endorsements, all of it. It is not hard work and it is not talent that got Taylor Swift to where she's at, or Blake Lively to where she's at, or Ryan Reynolds to where she's at. And this entire lawsuit is going to blow it away. I think Justin Baldoni's attorney would be very smart to ask for a complete discovery of everybody. He would be very smart to subpoena Taylor Swift and have her deposed. Because while she wants to make it seem like she had no part in any of this drama, as you just seen, she very much did. She shows up to their penthouse in New York while there's a meeting going on for It Ends With Us, and she has absolutely no legal or contractual anything to do with the movie. She had no business putting her nose in. She had no business even reading Blake Lively's rewrite of any scene. She had no business putting her 2 cents in. On the side as a friend, yeah, you'd expect her to talk to her about it, but actually getting involved by the casting, by demanding that the composer who was doing the scoring be fired because you didn't like him. Blake Lively having to beg for Deadpool's composer. I'm telling you, Justin Baldoni, have your attorney subpoena Taylor Swift and definitely have her deposed. Swifties, I'm sorry, don't come for me. This is just the way it is. This is what's really happening and going on. I didn't create this. They did.
Was able to kind of finish up Deadpool, but I was going from the dub of Deadpool and going back to the studio at night working on Blake's film.